Hi everyone, Chef Anthony here. Today we're focusing on induction cooking. Most importantly, we're on the 36-inch induction from Wolf here. We have 3 pans, all at a 5. We did some sous vide cooking earlier, and now we want to brown them off and really show you the precision of induction cooking. So 3 different things. We have a steak, we have a potato, and we have a vegetable. All 3 will need just a little bit different heat. That's why we're showing it on the induction to show the variance in it. So just a little oil in all these pans, and everything's at about a 5 now, which I feel like is a comfortable temperature. So without further ado, here's our sous vide. So we have a mixed veg right here. So we're just going to open that bag. And once again, everything's fully cooked. We're just going for browning points now, you know. We're going to pop it right in here, kind of get a great color on it. And what we're going to do, we want to flip these because look, see how tender it is with the sous vide? We're really cooking that, but we want to make sure we use it. And here's a great lesson for sous vide, for induction cooking, for basic pan cooking. You'll make this in 2 batches. We don't want to overcrowd this pan. Just because we have this much doesn't mean you need to overcrowd it. Just enough for the pan. Same thing with the potatoes too. We're going to put the potatoes in this one. All right. These have been sous vide as well. So look at that. Beautiful. And that's about enough. You know what I mean? Look, we can go back to it. This doesn't sear, this steams at this level, okay? So now, you know, we want it to sear, not steam. So look at that. And we're at 5s, which I feel is a comfortable level. But, you know, we're going to take it up. Let's take them up to an 8. The Wolf Induction Cooktop makes it nice and easy. You know, push button. Look at that, you know, diagram is excellent, right? Perfect. Do that, do that. Now our steak, we're going to take that up to the power boost because we want to get a nice sear on our steak, okay? Take this off. We're going to pat it dry, and then we're just going to place it on so nice and easy. Excess moisture, something we don't want. So right on there. And that steak is probably going to be around 3 to 5 minutes per side. That's what we're going to want to do. Probably 3 to 5 minutes just to get the caramelization, that Maillard reaction. But look how easy it is to cook multiple items on this. I mean, we have a great size cooktop, 3, you know, a 10-inch and 2 8-inch frying pans. So just adequate amount of space. So some benefits while we're cooking here with the induction obviously is, you know, that we are creating the burner right to the pot, right to the surface. Like even here, we're searing on high and I can put my hand right here. As long as I'm not touching the pan, the cook surface is cool to the touch. That's due to the efficiency of it, you know, and being that it is an etched glass surface, we can put parchment under here, keep it nice and clean, or really clean this with white vinegar at the very end of cooking, which I find is ideal, you know. So look at this. You want to talk, look at that. You want to talk sear and ability. Man, it smells so good too. Nice. This is browning up nicely as well. Look at that. Carrots are getting a little caramelization. And here's the thing. We did the sous vide cooking. We're not adding any extra oil. We're not adding extra seasoning. We're not adding anything extra. So nice. And look at that. That's working out well too. Look at that. Flip that one again. But in a matter of a few minutes, we're getting the browning points. We're getting the caramelization on this. Look at that. Excellent again. That's a great shot. Now I feel like my veg is where I need it to be. And this is a key to induction too, is the versatility. So now if I'm taking it all the way down to here, I'm going to go right here and I'm going to hit warm. Okay? Now that's turning it to the lowest setting. I'm going to keep it on warm, not keep it cool. This is ideal in these direct settings. You could put a red sauce on here, you know, an Alfredo, melted tempered chocolate. It really gives you these dedicated settings. So, you know, I hear it all the time from customers. Oh, you know, I went from gas or I went from something else. I don't know how to use induction. They make it so much easier. It's so reactive, and you have these added features. Like the same thing, my potatoes are ready to roll. You know, look at that. So I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to hit that button. I'm going to hit that little 3 marker right here on the side. It'll give me melt, warm, simmer, or bridge. You know, bridging, I can do the elements together. Simmer will keep it right under the boil. Melt will just melt something delicate like that butter or chocolate, but I'm just going to keep it on warm and wait for my steak. Now, my whole meal comes up hot and at the same time and at the same temperature and not overcooked. I'm in complete control. I'm talking to you guys, you know, I'm living it. All right, flip that steak one more time just to make sure we got that great reaction on it. And the best part about the induction is if I put my hand here, I can feel the vibration on it. And I know that those magnetrons are coming together, creating that energy, creating that great, you know, heat source. The steak is ready. Everything else is ready. It's time to plate it up. This is really the finishing part. And this makes everything, I mean, look, let's go back to this. I don't want to keep talking about this, keep going, but look how nice it keeps everything on that direct temperature. Everything from broccoli, carrots, to a starch like potato, okay? Shut this one down. Okay, we're gonna go right into our pan like that, flip it right here. And then look, I'm gonna cut this right here, you know, and just to show you, you know, what that searing does and that ability. I'm gonna put part of this back, but right here, look how nice that is. That's the caramelization, that's the sear, that's exactly what we want to see in a nice steak like that. So this is a hanger, so we're just gonna like take it like this. We're gonna plate this whole thing up for you, okay? Slice it down a little bit and then kind of dress it up on this cutting board, you know, so you guys can have a little lunch out of the deal, virtually, of course, you know? So let's do this. But I mean, direct cooking, not overcooking. The induction makes it so we are in control. Look at that, looks great. We'll keep that here. Let's grab our pots over here. Once again, they're induction. They're cool to the handle right here. So I don't need a towel, which is another benefit. All right, so check that out. Here's a good recap here. Here's how to finish, you know, a sous vide meal or any of the meals you do in induction, you know, using various settings and using the help from the cooktop. So hope you guys enjoyed that. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much.